Yo, what's good? It's your man, 100 Grand, Ross with The Rock Never Stops. Today, I need to do this video about Draymond Green and Jordan Poole and why this altercation is likely going to work for the Golden State Warriors more than anything. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button for me, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. I really do appreciate all the love and support and how this channel continues to grow. Let me just start off by saying, look, fights, altercations, they happen. In sports, they happen a lot because, to be real with y'all, there's a lot of toxic masculinity in sports. And there's also a lot of intensity of energy and emotions that for most intents and purposes works for the benefit of these players. Being able to operate at a high level consistently takes a lot of energy. And for a lot of these guys, they have their own internal drives, chips on their shoulder that allow them to push themselves to these extreme levels to perform at the level that they're at. And this is what makes them valuable. Now, at the same time, it also leaves them vulnerable to going over the top, to getting annoyed, frustrated, allowing someone to get under their skin, and losing self-control. And this is what happened in this altercation. Because let me be clear, anytime two adults get into a fight, it is always immaturity. It is always a lack of self-control. Now look, if someone's attacking your family, attacking your home, your loved ones, do what you have to do. All right? Nobody's talking about that. But we're talking about when there is no direct threat and somebody's words or behavior is getting on your nerve, but you can't be mature enough to see the big picture. That you would somehow allow an individual who is just annoying, frustrating, to get you to the point where you are going to step outside of yourself and you are going to put everything that you're working on at risk, everything that you have going at risk, everything that you're trying to accomplish at risk. And when you are a part of a team, you are a leader, you are somebody who is a part of a franchise, an organization, who they're looking at to be these leaders, this is a fail for both of these guys. Let me just start by saying for Draymond Green. Draymond Green, we all remember the NBA Finals. It was not your best showing. You got into your own head a little bit. You allowed the Boston fans to get into your head. You were inefficient, at times ineffective, and the team was even better without you, and you were benched throughout the playoffs, throughout the NBA Finals. This is not a good look, considering that you're going into a contract year looking to get a max extension. We all know that, hey, you're not the best shooter. We all know that. We know you're not the best scorer. That's fine, right? But what we do expect from you is the intangibles, the leadership, the focus, the consistency, the ability to direct and to help the team navigate operating at its best. This offensive system was not just built around Stephen Curry's ability to come off the screens and play off the ball, but it was also built around your leadership abilities to facilitate and to help the team play at a high level. If you can no longer do that, that is going to hurt your value to this team more than anything else. And so this type of an incident directly goes against that value. Why? Because you're expected to be more mature than this. Look, we all understand you've had moments in the past where there was, swinging at LeBron James' groin because you were frustrated and you get suspended for a game and next they turn the series around and they win a championship, right? We all know that you have the antics where you're cussing at refs and yelling at them and you get away with it sometimes and sometimes you don't. You're getting a lot of technicals and sometimes it's at the worst time. We all remember that you got into it several times with Steve Kerr and you get frustrated with him. And we all know he's not Phil Jackson, but at the same time, you got to have some self-control. There's a time and a space to talk to the coach and a certain way to do so, the same way that you would expect someone to talk to you. Right? And we all know that you've had issues where, calling players out and you've, we all have the famous situation in mind where you called KD a B and next thing you know, he's bounced out of Golden State and he's gone and the rest is history. You have a track record. And this is the absolute worst time for them to be looking at your track record and what you've done that has hurt the organization more so than what you could potentially do this upcoming season to help. This is the worst time for you to take a swing at a teammate. And not just any teammate. This is Jordan Poole, the Golden State Warriors' rising star, the individual who they're looking to be the heir apparent to Stephen Curry, the individual who they're thinking about extending a potential max extension, who they're saying, hey, we're going to ride you throughout the season and depend upon you to be the guy. Now, I know we got Steph, we got Clay, but you coming off the bench tips the scales. You playing alongside Andrew Wiggins makes us almost unfair, unbeatable, because of what you can contribute to this team. And you punched him in the face. Now, from what I read about the situation, this is just what I read, that apparently it was reported Jordan Poole was bragging about his potential upcoming contract extension. Right? He's going to get this huge contract extension. He's talking about building a pool in his house. And he's going to call it the Jordan Pool because it's going to be the GOAT. Right? And he's bragging about his money. And it got under Draymond's skin. He made a comment. He tried to tell him, hey, man, chill out, calm down. You know, you're doing too much. Say something else. We can do something else. Let's just go to practice, what have you. And Jordan Poole didn't stop. And Draymond Green got upset. And that's when it all started. Now, here's the thing. Draymond, Jordan Poole is a young man. Young. Extremely young. I think he's like, 23 years old, something like that, 24 maybe, right? This is his first major contract. It doesn't excuse his actions. What he did was extremely immature, and I'm going to get into that in a moment. But we expect you as the leader to lead. We expected you to be the mature one of the two. You're in your 30s. What are you, 32, 33? You just had a kid. You got married. You have a family. You're looking at your third big time contract, right? This isn't your first. You're not just getting some money potentially this upcoming off season, right? You've been paid. You're doing well for yourself. We expect you to act like you've been here before. Now, for Jordan Poole, man, this is a terrible way to start off expecting this franchise to trust you to be a leader in the future. You have to understand you are coming behind the one and only Stephen Curry, the man who changed the game, but didn't just change the game in terms of being an amazing, incredible shooter, the greatest shooter we've ever seen in the NBA. You are following the man who's been one of the greatest teammates of all time as a superstar, an individual who not only his teammates have nothing but praise about him and his unselfishness, right? And his maturity, and his focus, his determination, and his ability to have other people believe that they can thrive with him, right? This is one of the major factors in Kevin Durant coming to the Golden State Warriors, a major aspect of why this is a dynasty and not just a team who's had a couple of good runs. Look, I'm not of the ilk who believes that, hey, if Harrison Barnes had stayed instead of Kevin Durant coming, that the Golden State Warriors would have won those two championships against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Kevin Durant coming was a major part of this dynasty. And one of the major reasons was because of who Stephen Curry was as a leader and as a teammate. And that's who you're following up. That's who you're coming in the footsteps of. This is the reason why they're going to give you this big time extension. Because they know that as he wanes over the next 4 to 5 seasons, they're going to need somebody behind him, and they're trusting that you can be that guy. Here's the thing. If they can't trust you to not brag in a locker room where other guys are still looking to get paid and may not have the security of this guaranteed contract coming that you might have, that you think you might have, then how can they trust you to lead this team into a championship? How can they trust that you're going to be the leader that they're needing you to be, especially when the bar and the standard has been set high by one Stephen Curry? You see, these are the types of actions that make an organization pull that offer back and say, I think we'll wait until next offseason because we need to see how this plays out. This is the type of situation that might be the difference between a team going, we're going to give you the 130 versus, we're going to give you 120, 110, maybe less, depending if there's an ongoing issue. What happens if you get hurt this offseason or throughout this season? And the last memory is this incident. What if you don't have the year you thought you were going to have? What if you struggle in this season? You're not as efficient as we had hoped. What if some other guys step up in an incredible way and the team's like, you know what? Actually, we can bet on these guys because make no mistake about it, Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga are coming. They're going to be excellent players for the Golden State Warriors. And what if they begin to break out and you don't quite have the year that you had last year? And now you're trying to convince this team why you deserve this max extension. Right? You have to think, you have to be calculated, you have to be intentional. This is a business, not just entertainment. And as happy as you might be about your moment, and I'm happy for you, everyone's happy for you. There ain't nobody saying you don't deserve this money. But there's a time and a place for everything. And you're supposed to be mature enough to know this. Go and have a celebration party and invite the team. That's when you get to brag, because we know it's about celebrating you. Have some people over, have a get together, have a party at your place, at your brand new pool. That's the time to brag, not in the locker room. Not in the locker room. But, and this is the last point, this might be exactly what brings this team together. We all know a little bit of adversity, a little bit of turmoil can sometimes be a galvanizing energy that focuses guys to lock in. It makes them have to reflect upon their behavior, their decisions, their actions, and each step that they're taking throughout the season, because make no mistake about it, eyes will be on both of those guys. You also have to remember Andrew Wiggins is also playing to get his money. He's also playing to get his money. And I don't know if all three are going to be coming back. But if Andrew Wiggins has an incredible year, shows some more playmaking skills, super efficient, as a 6'9" athletic defender, and Jordan Poole, you don't have the type of year, right? You might be the odd man out. So it's to say that this coming year, I fully expect these guys to be locked in even more so. If there was any inclination to be too relaxed, too nonchalant, not focused, thinking that everything was going to go just according to plan, this is the moment. This is the moment that said, you better look in the mirror again, because shit can happen. Things can happen. And you need to make sure that you are dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's, making all the correct punctuations. Because right now you're playing not just for your contract, but for how you're perceived throughout the league and the potential to do something great. Yes, 4 rings is great, but there was a little bit of a gap there. And you had some Kevin Durant. And this is going to be the year that defines what this team is as an organization. This is going to define it being a dynasty. This is going to set this team along the lines of the Bulls dynasty, the Lakers dynasty with Shaq and Kobe, or Kobe and Gasol, right? The Magic Johnson dynasty, the Larry Bird dynasty, the Tim Duncan dynasty, right? The Miami Heat dynasty, right? These are the moments. These are the moments. This is what's going to set you apart. And this is what the organization is aiming for. And I think this is going to be the moment that's going to get both of these guys to be locked in. This is the moment that they're going to have to remember what they're playing for, to get outside of themselves, to get focused on the team and what the mission at hand is. Because right now, a championship, that tide raises all boats. If they win another ring, everybody's getting paid. Wiggins, Poole, Draymond, they're going to be handing out maxes like hotcakes. Like sweet cornbread at the family get-together. Like pound cake on your birthday. Everybody's going to eat. And so right now, I think this could be the moment that locks them in. But as always, I want to know what you all think. What do you think about this moment? What do you think about their behavior? How do you think the team moves forward? Holler at me in the comment sections. I'm going to get at y'all next time. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'm out. Peace.